Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve ceal li veziran min ehli Harun ahi uştud bihi ezri ve eşrikhu fi emri kay nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Allahümme nevvir kulubena bi nuril imani vel Kur'ani vel İslam ve bi ma'rifetik. Ve sallillahümme ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etbahi ve sellim velhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Amin.
We're continuing on today with the book of creation on page 3. The second station of the 14th flash. This, which is included here because of its relevance, consists of 6 of the thousands of mysteries contained in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Note, a bright light from, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, concerning divine mercy, appeared to my dull mind from afar. I wanted to record it for myself in the form of notes, to hunt it down and capture it, and circumscribe the light with 20 to 30 mysteries. But unfortunately, I was not able to do this at the present time, and the 20 or 30 mysteries were reduced to 5 or 6. When I say, oh man, I mean myself. While this lesson is directed particularly to my own soul, I refer it as the second station of the 14th flash for the approval of my meticulous brothers and sisters, in the hope that it may benefit those with whom I am connected spiritually and whose souls are more discerning than mine. This lesson looks to the heart more than the reason, and regards spiritual pleasure and perception rather than rational proofs. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, the queen said, "Ye chiefs, here is delivered to me a letter worthy of respect. It is from Solomon and is as follows. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate."
Okay, shall we? Did you find any interesting point that we should consider in the introduction to the subject?
The lesson looks to the heart more than the reason.
Anything attract your attention?
the part that says it may benefit those with whom I'm connected spiritually and whose souls are more discerning than mine. Yeah, I was thinking in terms of what is it that I'm connected to spiritually in the universe. It's a broad term.
Do you have the text? Okay. You know where we are reading? Do you?
The second station.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah. So any more? Yeah. Connected spiritually. Okay. Are we connected to each other spiritually? What does it mean? Any suggestion?
At first, I would say, what is spiritual connection? And at least what I can try to discern from the text is that spiritual connection, for example, is not necessarily physical or material connection, right? I don't see anything that connects me to any person in this room, physically speaking. So spiritual connection then must be something that connects me to someone else that may not necessarily be visible to my eye. And then when I think about any sort of either relationship or experience, or even coming to know of something that happened somewhere else that I was not there physically, I have some sort of reaction or response within me to that, to learning that, or to something that someone says, whatever the situation is. There's never a situation where I don't feel something as a response to something that's happening around me. So in this respect, I share a sort of relationship or connection with everything around me. And here, I guess, the text is referring specifically to people who, it says, in hope that it may benefit those with whom I connected spiritually and whose souls are more discerning than mine. So I guess the sort of spiritual connection refers to some sort of awareness of a human concern that I find within myself, that I'm trying to seek answers to or discern, that I find that someone else also seems to be going through or trying to find the answers to something similar, and that we share this connection here for this particular, what is called existential or human concern regarding the nature of my existence.
Yeah, human concern. So it is not a business connection or blood connection. So I think somehow it is satisfactory. Would you like to add something to it? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think to answer your question, I think we are spiritually connected here because we're all in this setting trying to understand something together. So, and it's
so concerning, as said, concerning our human needs to find a satisfactory answer or way out, just so that we will be humanly satisfied, not physically, bodily. That is something else. It doesn't negate it, but the purpose of the content of this text that we are going to read will be related to this side of human needs. Okay. All right, the other one. This one, when I say, oh man, I mean myself. That is a good point. If we are reflecting on something, first of all, we have to find the satisfactory answer within ourselves. So the answer or the conclusion I came up with should be satisfactory for me, first of all, and then share it with others. If anyone else is interested in the same subject or in the same matter. If it means we shouldn't share, whether it is too much to go, I don't know. We shouldn't share information with others because information doesn't resonate with us. Information is an external knowledge about anything. Maybe it may be a religious knowledge. It means that any matter concerning religious subjects or religious responsibilities even. So do you understand that information is external to me? Any example? Who can give an example? Information is external to me. It's not related to my human side. Information doesn't satisfy me. Knowledge in the form of information, not the knowledge that affects your human side, your soul. That's information. For example, let's say, the ordinary information is that this house is how many square feet. So maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 10,000. It is not related to human side. Maybe it may be related to religion as well. Let's say, okay, but the typical religion, the Muslims fast during the month of Ramadan, according to lunar system, lunar calendar. So, it is knowledge-wise something to do with religious topic, but whether you know it or you don't know what difference does it make? Does it make any difference? Yeah, if you are going to practice it, but it has nothing to do with your human needs. Or other subjects that give information, transfer information. For example, the meaning of this word in the verse, in a verse of the Quran, Arabic meaning in the Arabic language. You can translate it into English like that. So what? What shall I? The information which is described in this civilization. If someone has a lot of information, this person is described as an cultured man. Okay, so very intelligent. He knows a lot. As far as human needs are concerned, I don't think it matters. But you may get information in order to internalize, utilize it, and find a way of satisfying your human needs. Then it is a vehicle. Again, vehicle is external to human being in and of itself. Vehicle is always external to him. So if you know the vehicle, it doesn't help you. But if you utilize it, if you have a car, for example, so I have a car in the garage, so what? But if I utilize it, take it and go somewhere with it, then what is important for me? That I traveled, I went from one point to another point, not the car, is important. Like what I mean by external is this not related to my human side. For example, another very famous that people teach, the Prophet was born in 570. Lunar system. Okay, not lunar. Yeah, lunar system. Not lunar system. Solar system. Solar calendar. Okay, what shall I do? What shall I do with it? It's external. That's why we have to be concerned whether this external information is available for me or not. How am I going to utilize it for my human needs? How am I going to make it useful for me so that it will feed the needs of my human side, provide an answer for my human side? Otherwise, external information, for example, you may learn the English translation of or some information, background information of the verse of the Quran. You think that you learned a lot. You know, this verse was revealed when the Prophet was in this situation. What shall I do? What shall I do with it? But if I take it internally and apply it to my own case, and say, can I get a guidance for this, from this? Then this application of the external information in my own human experience is worth it. So share this one, not the other information. That's why he says, when I understand, when I say, oh man, it means I mean myself, it means in order to satisfy my human needs, I have processed all these experiences, so I'm sharing it with you, not for the sake of information, transferring the information. So when you say we have to teach our religion to our kids or to other people, we have to be careful what are we teaching. External knowledge or something comes out of my own human experience. And I found it useful, satisfactory. That's why I'm using it.
Can I ask something? So, can we say even the sacred books are information? Sacred?
What? Sacred what?
Sacred books.
What do you mean by sacred book?
What we like.
I mean, the books dealing with religious subjects.
Yeah.
No, they are not sacred books. Yeah. Anything can teach you anything. So you call it books. Talking about something to do with religion.
Right. Which gives you news, which you hear some news from those books. They are information until they are processed. Can we say like that?
Yeah, but if you can use it. But the purpose we are talking here, what are we going to share with other people? So what are we going to share with other people, or how are we going to prepare ourselves in order to, if you like, benefit others, help others? So we have to help others about the subject which I am concerned. I am satisfied, sorry. Yeah, my human side is satisfied. That is worth it. That's worth to share it. Otherwise, it remains like external. This is simple to understand, but not very much commonly noticed among the people. Usually. No. So, would you like to talk about it, or any more concern? Anything more?
This was brought up, but in the final sentence before the verse, when it says this lesson looks to the heart more than the reason, it regards spiritual pleasure and perception rather than rational proofs.
It has always been the problem.
I mean, when I read that, how should I prepare myself in what's to come next?
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that, for example, the first asked question, but the last point that we can talk about this paragraph is the heart. The lesson looks to the heart more than the reason. Doesn't mean that reasoning is not for the satisfaction of human needs. Doesn't exclude that. But as the last piece of the sentence said, regard the spiritual pleasure and perception rather than rational proofs. Because rational proofs are, again, external. But it doesn't mean that reason definitely works for external information. No, it is knowledge. Knowledge is different from reasoning. But external, it means in the material sense. I'm not going to present you something. For example, if you say, I love this something, can you rationally prove it? I think this kind of difference that we have to notice. We cannot rationally prove that subject that I love this. For example, if one says, look, I am satisfied with this understanding. Can you rationally prove it? But the person must be satisfied with his whole human qualities. Whatever is it, it's different from rationally proving it. Rationality is different, or rational proof, rationality or rationalism is different from what we usually say, reasoning. Reasoning, you have to reason whether it's satisfied for you, any idea, anything, whether it is satisfactory. Do you find it satisfactory? Yet reason, spirit works together. So this difference is, when we gather, I think it's a serious topic. Everybody talks about it, and Some people completely reject one side, the other people, some other people completely reject the other side. So when we are gathering information in order to process, we use all our human qualities. When we gather data, information, we use all our qualities. But the purpose of the gathering data, information, must be to provide means for human side to be satisfied, for the human side to be satisfied. But if the reason is not satisfied, it doesn't go to the human sides anyway. So if the human reason is not satisfied, how can you satisfy your feelings? Of course, the feelings cannot be presented in a material form, physical form. Also, reasoning cannot be presented in the physical form, reasoning. But reason collects information from outside, and if it is utilized, this information is utilized by human feelings, then it finds an satisfaction in human feelings or not. But if the reason is not satisfied, what are you going to do? What can you do? Yeah.
I wonder if I'm trying to think of an example. But for example, I don't know how well this will work. If I am hungry, okay, or let's say a baby is hungry, they don't really reason the fact that they might be hungry, but when they get something, they'll put it in their mouth, okay, and try to eat it or something. So when it comes to me, I'm not saying it will necessarily satisfy me, but because of the way I find myself existing, with my feelings, do I not have a tendency towards something that I do need to utilize my reasoning to see if it fits, but just with my feelings, do I not have a tendency towards something that may still correspond with my feelings, even if I use my free will not to reason about why this is the way it is?
No, couldn't get it. Baby example is misleading, so it is a process. Forget about that to me. For example, if you are hungry, if someone offers you something, but from the way that you become suspicious that the food may be poisonous. Yeah. From the man, look at the man. He's looking so vicious. And you know that it is a sensitive time, for example. Would you eat the food although you are hungry? So
Make them eat it first.
yeah, look, reason must be satisfied. For example, they are talking about something, a virus outbreak in China. All market is about to die in market. So the Chinese economy is suffering from it. The reason says if I go and buy, I might die. Looked out, that's outward reasoning. But if one satisfies you, guarantees your reasoning, not your emotions, guarantees your reasoning that this food has no virus. You are satisfied with the evidence presented to you. Then can you eat it and enjoy it and take pleasure out of it. Now, while we are in the process of getting in, collecting or coming to a conclusion, collecting information and coming to a conclusion and then testing it within ourselves, reasoning is the first door to knock at and satisfy. And then feelings will test it, test the result, whether it is appropriate to my human side or not. Am I satisfied with it? And if you conclude that, yeah, I'm satisfied with this idea because it doesn't contradict my human side, then what we do, we act accordingly or practice it. Now, when you share your feelings, you don't use reason. You may not use your reason, but directly speak to his emotional side. For example, remind the person that, would you like to enjoy your life here, that you will be happy with your life? You immediately go to your senses, not your reason. So I would love it. Yeah, I will be happy in my life. Now, you say now, if you think in this way, if you analyze the existence in this way, for example, yourself, etc., then try this one now. Yeah. If there was the simple example is this. If there was, look, I didn't prove whether there is or not, that eternal life. Yeah, you will never die and you will enjoy your life. Would you like it? Where is reasoning? You see this conclusion. This is conclusion. In order to come to the conclusion that there must be an eternal life, you need evidence, reasoning. It means external information and reason, process it. But after that, you go to your own feelings, whether it is confirmable, acceptable, likable for you or not. The how do you say, beginning process, human beings work with all their feelings, whatever they are, human side. But the last conclusion, as far as one's feelings are concerned, and not human side is concerned, human as this text says here, spiritual satisfaction. It means your soul really enjoys it, right? Then it is the enjoyment of the human feelings. But the process to go there works all together. For example, you may like something very, you are fond of it, you die for it, and then I am going to go and buy it. Okay. You go to the shop or the store and you found out that, oh, it's really expensive. Will you buy it?
Depends on my budget.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, no.
How much do I want?
So if you have the budget and you make comparisons, look, reason is starting working now. But liking is the spiritual side of it. But reason starts working now. How much do I have in my purse, wallet, or account? Is it worth it? Yeah, I love it, but it is something satisfactory, but it is $1 million. What are you going to do? Even you have money. $1 million. And it gives you a small satisfaction, like eating a bar of chocolate. Would you pay $1 million? Who decides that I should buy or I shouldn't buy?
The reason.
reason. You understand that when it comes to application, all matters related to human satisfaction is spiritual satisfaction. But while you are doing the process, in order to come to that stage, you have to work together. You work together. So if someone says, if you go to a shop and you find that you are on a diet, most people are on a diet here in this country. No one has said that I'm very thin, I have to nourish myself well. So everybody is on a diet, almost. Now, you are on a diet and very sugary, very fatty things they offer to you. Although you like it. For example, I love sweet. In anything, I'm a sweet tooth person, whatever you call it. But I have to watch out for sugar after this age. Then I'm advised not to take much sugar. So you offer something to me which is sweet. Try and see. I would say no. Who's deciding no? Which side of human beings deciding no? Huh?
Both.
Not both. Okay, both is ultimately included both, because I don't want to have a trouble, and not liking the troublesome life, for example, diabetes is human side. But in order to eat that particular food or not is decided by, it is harmful for me, no. But not liking the harmful things is, yes, human side. It means human means it's soul side, spiritual side. So I feel that when we are making the distinction, we have to be careful. It should not exclude anything from in the process, any side of human being in the process. For example, if you like something and you can afford it, but it damages your body, still, although it is something to do with the body, not human feelings, you wouldn't do it. But as a whole, we have to learn how to be not biased about anything. We work all together, but ultimately, the subjects like this, for example, subjects related to belief matters, are related to human feelings. As a result, but not at the beginning, no. At the beginning, although everybody likes to have a protector or guardian for his own life, which guarantees that you will be protected. You will be protected if you, for example, connect myself to you. It means, for example, to become, it's a good example. If you are aware of the creator, you have a creator, and who takes care of you, what do? It is a good idea, But why, although it's a good idea, he takes care of you, everything is provided, and whatever you need, he guarantees that you will be satisfied about that need. But most of the people, it is a good idea, but I don't believe in it. Why? It doesn't make sense. Emotionally, they are happy with the conclusion, but rationally, they may not enough evidence for it. Then they say, it is a wishful thinking. It's not real. Oh, I like it as well. That's why people, they claim this. That's why people produce faith in something superior, because they are weak. But it doesn't make sense. So we have to reject it. That's what they say. Do you understand this? So collecting evidence must This evidence must be aimed at satisfying the mind, and then human side must find it agreeable or lovable. Now, this text says we are going to share the conclusion which resonated within myself, and I really loved it. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to present it to you, but not going into the collection of the data, which is, data is external. We talked about it. Information is external, but we are without going into the collection of information. It means data collection. The result, I'm going to present the result to you. So you will feel that, oh, that's something good. Yeah, really, I enjoy it. So if you enjoy it, but reason must be satisfied. So you have to go into another journey, into another venture, so that you will try to make it sound rationally acceptable for you. Otherwise, not external, internally you say, if it was true, it would be really lovable and lovely. I would really enjoy it, but if only it was true. What does it mean? Your feelings approve it, but your rationality is not satisfied, you reject it. Who doesn't want to have a guaranteed existence and happiest existence? Who doesn't want? Feeling side, everybody. But not everybody is confirming it. Because of the data they are presented or they have collected so far, doesn't make sense to them. That's why we have to present the case, but it's an exceptional case. The author explicitly puts it forward that I'm not going to speak about evidence. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the process of collecting data and coming to a conclusion and presenting to your senses. I am going to speak to you directly, addressing to your senses, human senses. Do you get the difference? So, for example, the same author speaks in other places, mostly addressing human rationality. The same one. But he doesn't say there the same statement there. He says, of course, we have to be satisfied as a human being, as a whole. So you must remember that once upon a time in our discussion, we used to use this expression, human beings are one unit. Every human being is a whole. You cannot separate it. You cannot divide it. But depends on the conditions. One of them takes over rather than the other, but as a result, we must be satisfied as a whole. As a whole. But can a person take an attitude, assume an attitude, saying, I'm not going to reason about it, since I love it, I will accept it. Okay. Look how reasonable it is, although a bad example came to my mind, but for the sake of example, I will use it. Okay. Believing in the eternal life is really welcome by human feelings. It's a good idea. Okay. If you are not rationally satisfied, what do? I said, I'm not going to use my reason. This is correct. This is something to do with my religion. Okay. Excellent. Okay. The same method, I'm going to apply it. A young person, boy or girl, high school students, do they love to have love affairs with their schoolmates, friends? Yeah, they should do it. Why not? Do you understand what I mean? I'm trying to make it somehow as kind as possible. Yeah? Make. Can you do it? But you love it. Yeah. Every young person loves it, don't they? Remember your youth. I do. Yeah. Look, I'm I'm following my feelings, and the feelings say, okay, go ahead. But my rationality says, what's the consequence of it? And if someone takes the religious concern under his subject, I'm created, my creator says, don't have this kind of relationship unless within certain conditions. Look, reason comes. So acting and saying that I follow my feelings legitimize everything that human feelings enjoy. Yeah.
With that example, there is a set guideline, right? That's telling us, well, our creator told us not to do this, and that's the reasoning. But with something that's spiritual in life after death and things of that nature, that you don't it's a belief, right? It's a faith. There is no rational reasoning to prove that. So that's quite different than, okay, I won't have this affair because I have guidelines telling me or rationalizing or giving me a logical explanation as to why I shouldn't do it.
No, we are talking about, that's a good question, a very common question. And everybody's mind works in almost. Is there any matter related to human feelings concerning belief matters, conclusions, yeah? Not automatic functioning, like loving something. No, not like this. I believe, I am convinced that there is a creator. I have a creator. Now, this is believing. We will come, if we have time, to believing in ghaib. So that is coming to a conclusion. It's enjoyable. Don't you have any proof for it, rational proof for it? You enjoy it. It's religious. So living in this world is being created within the conditions of this physical world and completely adaptable to the conditions of this physical world. Do you think this physical world is a precondition for you to act within this physical world? So in the physical world, you have given senses to collect information from. And always any matter related to belief must be the result of the interaction with the physical world, collecting evidence there. Otherwise, we will ignore the importance of the creation of the universe in a meaningful, perfectly wise way. Why do you think the universe must be a wise being? Because we will utilize it. There is only one way to go into belief matters, through the wisdom, through all the qualities manifested in the universe, and human feelings and reasoning says, what can the source of these qualities manifested in the universe, what can be the source of the qualities manifested within myself? You've got to ask this question. Otherwise, you are denying your reality, pretending to believe in something. Do you think our being created within this universe, within this body and bodily needs is pointless? Do you think the creator, or whoever created this universe, is just wasting by creating it meaningless, purposeless? Oh, I have a feeling that's enough. Belief matters. We are aware or not, goes through definitely, inevitably, certain logical, reasonable, or rational progress that human beings reason about. For example, if someone says to you, the creator resides on the other side of the world, or in the South Pole, would you accept it? The creator of the universe's house is on the South Pole. He resides there. Would you accept it? And why not?
Have to investigate it and see if that
Yeah.
words are true.
Excellent. While you are investigating, what are you using? Your eye, your ear, data collection, processing with your mind, and saying that the creator cannot be within the universe. Don't be, I'm sorry, I'm not saying to you at all, don't be stupid. Be a reasonable person. Be a reasonable person. You understand that belief matters must have an evidence. But where is the evidence? Is there any belief matter that doesn't have an evidence within the universe manifesting the signs of it? Yeah, for example, if you educate yourself, we, and you, not only you personally, we, all of us, educate ourselves how to utilize the universe, we definitely see that there are certain qualities manifest in the universe, and these qualities cannot be attributed to the parts of the universe. It means the substances of the universe, substance side of the universe, substance side of the universe. There must be a good word, but I don't know. Is it okay? Understood? If you know any other better word, help me. So we cannot attribute it, we cannot really relate it to the atom itself or the atomic part of the universe. We say where these qualities might have come. Reasonable. And then if you are satisfied that the creator is not residing in the south, somewhere in the South Pole of the earth, you deny it. You say, no, can't be. So, you see, without satisfying the reason, human reasoning, you cannot really come to a conclusion which may satisfy your feelings. This will be a fake, unreal conclusion, not human conclusion. It's an imitation. You love the culture, really, you feel happy there. But of course, even the most illiterate person, uneducated person, don't they reason? If you ask them, So, totally illiterate person. Okay? For example, cut your hand. Do you think he will cut it? Yeah? So I'm not, I cannot think a better example.
Cut your hand and I'll give you.
Sorry?
There has to be motivation.
Yeah, it means reason.
Yeah, no, but if
Yeah,
you have to have a motivation to cut the hand.
No, it must be reason. Motivation means
There must be
reason.
reason.
So, for example, yeah, it's a punishment. Some people work in the prisons, and they put them and lock the human beings behind the bars. Yeah, but do you think it is approvable by in and of itself? Can you do it to a dog and keep it there for 10 years? Not a human being. But if there is a reason for it, as a punishment, be a good example for others, so that the peace and order of the society must be working smoothly. If you work in the prison as a guardian, prison guards, you don't feel any negative feelings while you are locking the person behind the bars. You say, you deserve it, man. You see? Makes sense now. Now, it is a purpose now. It makes sense. So for everybody, depending on the level of reasoning, and also level of information, that because we said reasoning starts, the process of reasoning starts with what? Collecting external information and processing it, whether it makes sense or not, can I approve it or not, and then send it to or take it to the feelings, whether the feelings are okay. So this prison guard puts the men behind the bars and never feels sorry for it, although it is against human feeling. But when you rationalize it, it starts making sense. So really, human beings are a whole, or not plural. A human being, any human being is a whole, cannot be divided. Depends on the situation. One side comes up, the other side comes up, but ultimately they work all together. We have to be careful about it. I don't know whether it is any good for you. Is it something? So faith may not have a deep, reasoned, deeply satisfied stage of processing the reasoning, or a little bit superficial. Everybody does it. But it makes sense. I mean, come on. If you say there is a creator, without talking about it, this universe cannot happen by itself. Come on. But reason. Yeah, but reason. Simple, it doesn't matter. But according to the capacity. So according to the heart takes it in, but according to the strength of the satisfaction of human rationality, human feelings feel much more secure in practicing it now within himself. It works together. That's what I always, when I think about it, about this matter, I always come up with this conclusion. We cannot divide human beings. Don't forget about it. No. Depending on the situation, of course. It's so complicated. So, but it is, I don't think we made it complicated. We made it complicated. by in order to justify our laziness, because thinking is reflecting is really very hard. It's to me the harder things. Bodily getting tired bodily is okay. You may keep yourself busy, maybe enjoy it. Some people really goes and does in the gym, for example, when they go to gym, when they work out, what do? They bodily tire them when they enjoy it. But as far as this kind of subjects are concerned, belief matters, needs a dense reflection. You have to thought about, and it is very hard. Try yourself. How long can you concentrate on one point without diverting your attention while we are thinking? How long? Let me start with a generous number, 1 hour. I can't. Okay, 5 minutes. Doable? If it is really deep subject, with just attention slips away. You have to keep it consciously. Otherwise, most people reflect on one subject really seriously, not more than seconds. Not more than seconds. If you are trained, you can extend a bit. But if you associate this reflection with something physical terms, for example, drawing, it prolongs. To me, abstract thinking is the hardest job for a human being. It's very difficult to be successful. But piece by piece, we have to get there. But if you train yourself, maybe the time span expands. Otherwise, it is very tiring. And also, for example, let's say, I don't want to embarrass anyone, or if someone volunteers to answer, how long have you reflected that in a religious tradition that you follow, messenger, to believe in the messenger is essential. It is indispensable. Okay, is it correct? Can anybody volunteer? How long did he reflect on this topic that is really believing in messengership acceptable, or just I am copy-pasting from my cultural background? Is it really essential that there must be a messenger? How much we have reflected on it? How much? But those people who join this kind of discussion groups, they may be a little bit trained about it. Go and ask those people whether they follow Islamic tradition or another belief tradition which requires that there must be a messenger. For example, as far as I know, Torah or Jewish tradition is heavily engaged with prophetic missions. Go and ask them. Ask them, have you really thought about that prophets or messengers are necessary? That we have to say, oh, there must be some messengers, man. Otherwise, this universe or my existence, my being in this universe wouldn't make sense. I don't think you can find many number. Even Muslims also are expected to believe in. I don't think so. Why do we believe in, for example, angels exist? Why do we believe that eternal life must be? How do you know? If someone comes and challenges you, well, where did you get this funny idea? Huh? And it must be the result of your conclusion. Yeah, it is lovable, but it is very dangerous. And if you ask a 16 years old boy or girl, have a girlfriend, then go to bed together, she said, it is lovable, huh? Oh, beautiful. But is it correct? So it must make sense, huh? And it must be convinced within a certain how do you say, framework. Otherwise, if you say, okay, you are going by a greengrocer shop, store, and you love, let's say, grapes. You see grapes there. Will you take it? Why? You like it? You like eating grapes. Why don't you take it? What? If you set human beings to the understanding that follow your emotions and your human feelings will be satisfied with any subject related to belief without having a framework, background, rational background, this is a very dangerous way of treating religious subjects, belief matters. Why? Because you will be opening the door for any kind of arbitrary activities which is enjoyed by human beings. Huh? This is we have to be very careful. We have to try to keep human wholeness. A human being is a whole, cannot be divided. So, depending on the subject, this way, may come first. May come first. In the investigation process, reason comes first, and conclusion comes the last. That's why they say in Islamic tradition, after reason is satisfied, heart can confirm it. No? So it doesn't work otherwise. After heart is satisfied, reason will confirm it, doesn't work. Why? Reason needs its own data. Yeah? And then it must be united together, work together. In the process of searching, reason is in the front. At the result, the how do you say, residing place of the conclusion is the feelings, right? So depending on which side you are interested in, or you are concerned with, which side, the process side, conclusion side, but takes the priority. Okay.
You say it doesn't work on other way around?
Yeah. And if your feeling is satisfied about something, it does not necessarily that your reason will be satisfied. Your reason may come up with a different conclusion. So your reason, from the beginning, your reason must be satisfied and come to the human feelings. And then human feelings must approve it. But only human feelings approve something doesn't necessarily make the mind be satisfied. We have to understand this.
It doesn't necessarily make it, but as you said, like the feeling heart directly can accept it.
About
When
what?
you when you when you receive a news.
I say if mind is satisfied, feelings confirm it. If mind is satisfied.
Let's say you stop your mind, but you can directly, your senses can directly accept the
No,
news.
as I
Then
give
you can go back to your rational. Is it work like that?
But reason may approve it, may not approve
Yeah,
it.
after that.
Where would knowledge fall in between?
Sorry?
Knowledge, where would that fall in between?
No, it's the process.
the process. Is
Yeah.
knowledge.
If you don't know how a formula is solved, you cannot solve any problem related to this or based on this formula. Or what is this? In mathematics, do you put something and then?
Equation.
No. Hypothesis, not hypothesis. Come on. I couldn't. If somebody. Let's say formula, okay? That formula. If you understand the formula, you can solve every problem. If you don't understand the formula, you cannot solve any problem. So, if you really memorize how to, which is usually in the Eastern world, what they teach, how to memorize the information, how to solve a problem by saying that take this one, multiply it, divide it, and then this is the result. If it doesn't help you to understand the formula, not the formula, there's a word.
Theorem?
Sorry?
Theorem?
Sorry? Theorem. Okay, let's not. Theorem, maybe theorem. Yeah, maybe. Theorem. It doesn't help you. But if you understand the theorem, how it works, then you can apply to any problem related to it. This kind of, we have to understand that something always works. For example, believing in the ghaib, let's say, the source of existence, without any reasoning, that without taking any evidence from the universe. Yeah? Coming back to the universe and trying to analyze the universe doesn't help. But if you analyze the universe, question the universe, then come to the conclusion that there must be an absolute creator, you say, yeah, there must be. So other way around doesn't work. We have to notice this. That's why people are frightened of reasoning. Because when they reason, they will find out that all their preconceived conclusions about belief matters will fall apart. Because they have no evidence for it. When you say, why do you believe in angels? Or in, for example, how do you know that the person who's called Muhammad has received message from God? How do you know? Have you seen it? Or have you any evidence? He was a loyal man or trustworthy man. There are many trustworthy men, excuse me. It doesn't mean if a person is trustworthy, it means I know who's calling me. I'm guessing I know. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. I am in the middle of a class. You call me after 12:20 or 12:50. Here in America, today, 12:50 in the States. Okay? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. So, think about it. You will settle down. Don't worry about it. So don't take the easy way. Easy way is belief matter doesn't need to be rationally satisfied. You have to look at the heart. Yeah. Okay. Now.
Can I ask a question before we go?
Yeah.
Further?
Okay. Take some more. Excuse me. Do you have one? Empty, no? There's a top it up. Did they say top it up? Or? Yeah, top it up, man. For the cup of tea or water. Okay. Yeah.
So, would you also say that if you lead with the feelings and you start to reason after the fact?
After
the fact. So, let's say you.
After the what?
After you, let's say
no,
you
no.
like
Repeat
something.
the word. Repeat the word.
After the fact.
Fact.
Yes.
After this happens.
No,
After.
it's just like a.
No, I didn't. Oh.
Yeah. So.
Okay, but I don't think I said this. But let me listen to you.
Okay. So let's say you like something.
Yeah.
Right.
I see. To go back the previous examples.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you like something, and then you want to reason or use your rationality to prove to yourself, let's say, why you like it. Do you think, or is the argument here that whatever reasoning you do after, or as a secondary process, will never really satisfy you, or will it just be like distorted as a process?
If you like, belief matters. Belief matters. This was the practical example. Mm-hmm. Belief matters. You say, I believe that Muhammad is or has received message from the Creator. Mm-hmm. Right. So you cannot really confirm it apart from imitating the culture. You have no evidence for it, and claiming that I am satisfied in my heart has no base. But this is only valid, or what I said is only correct, if someone has not used any evidence at all. Yeah, any evidence at all. Okay. For example, if someone uses an evidence like this, all the people follow the teachings of Muhammad seems to be approvable, confirmable. They are nice people, right? So the teachings of Muhammad must be somehow divinely inspired. Look, there is a reason there, but this reason is not enough still. Why? You have to have a reason in the creation as it is. But this reason is not enough, which means if you go, for example, a Buddhist society, everybody seems to be, especially the practicing Buddhists, seem to be calm, not capricious. Yeah. Will you say the same thing? They are divinely inspired?
If you use the same reason.
Yeah, if you use the same reason, yeah, they must be equally led by a person who has divinely inspired. But you found that even they don't believe in God, the Creator. You say, no. So it doesn't work. To me, it doesn't work. So it is not only one-way road. It is a dual-way road. When you are going to the destination, you use right side, let's say reason. After coming back from the destination, coming home within yourself, you use the other direction. Yeah, and then you find comfortable now. You went, you fulfilled your mission and came back, you are satisfied with your home as a human being, as a whole now. But we have to be honest. We shouldn't cheat ourselves. But why people do this? I feel, this is information. That's no good for your personal experience, for my personal experience either. In order to save the claim of the common people that they are Muslims They don't want to put them at stake. Because when you encourage them to think, they cannot think, and they suddenly found that their belief has no faith, their belief has no base, they start shaking because there's no base. So in order to save them, not to disturb them, this is commonly used. Yeah. Are you satisfied with your religion? Huh? That's very good. Pray. Fast. Right? And follow the community. And also give our share to this, to the Islamic society. Money pay. So be a member, due paying member. And our number is increasing, mashallah. It doesn't work.
Is this not acceptable at all?
It doesn't work. Not acceptable for whom? For you, yes. No, it is not acceptable. For those people who are following it, they don't listen to you anyways. Don't forget about that. It's not your concern. We don't know which kind of process they are going through. None of my business. But I shouldn't, as a person who questions, is aware of the case, I shouldn't follow the path that the other people that I'm trying to save now, not to disturb them, and impose that this way is right for me. No, it is not right for you. But for those people, none of your business. Do they ask you? Why do you bother? Why do you bother? Leave them. They are happy with their life. The same thing is valid for Christians. The same thing is valid for Hindus. Don't disturb them. They are not asking you. Why do you say that? No, your affiliation with Hinduism is fake. You are cheating yourself. Why do you disturb them? Did they ask you? Huh? But those people who come here, why do they come? To ask. To ask, why do we believe in what we believe? So we cannot put ourselves at their level in order to save them. If you want to save them, don't disturb them unless they ask you. Otherwise, don't cheat yourself that I can be like them as well. It means lazy. Do you understand? We shouldn't fall into this pit. It's a very horrible pit, like abuse. Then you cannot start really using your human quality anymore. You really lock yourself up in a prison-like belief system. I am a Muslim. The other one says, I am a Jew. That's it. I am the best. And don't work with Muslims are the best, don't we? Aren't we? Sorry. So this is a very simple-mindedness for a person who is able to do this. So between ourselves, we are concerned with ourselves here. No, we are not concerned with others. We don't know why they are doing whatever they are doing. If they ask you, okay, give your reasoning according to their level, not according to your level. Be wise. You know that the universe is created on a wise system. Yeah, you are given the wisdom as well. Follow your wisdom according to step by step. If you are teaching a primary school student, elementary student, you are expected to teach them at their level, not at the college level. Yeah, this is other practical side of it. But we don't know really where we are falling into because we don't really think deeply. It's hard. Thinking is the hardest business to me. Not, of course, thinking, what shall I go for summer holiday? Which holiday resorts is the best for me? This is not, it is very pleasurable. They can think 2 hours, 3 hours about it, keep talking about it all winter. Sitting in the room, we're feeling really hot with the fire, they are imagining hot weather now. Let's make the program for summer holiday in a very hot country. So do you notice that the advertisements start for travel by travel agencies in January, February? Huh? Do you notice this? Yeah, because everybody is imagining this beautiful, sunny, hot weather on the beach. So there are crews going somewhere here and there. Or for skiing, for winter, when you get hard sweat, if only fresh, cold, cool weather. So then advertisement starts. This human weakness. Okay, the verse. Can you please read the verse?
I'm sorry, I have one more question before we move on.
I thought this piece wouldn't take us long.
Sorry.
So
I'll try to be quick. So I understand about like the human being a whole, and you can't necessarily dissect it and separate one aspect from another. So in my mind, I was also trying to think of like reasoning and feelings as like maybe reasoning is like a vehicle and feelings is like a fuel. So you kind of have to have both of them there so you can get from one point to another.
yeah, combine it. We work together. Always works together.
Yeah, it's just a matter of where I focus on. But what I have a little bit of question on is like about how reasoning is the first step, because for one thing, like
About what? About what?
Belief matters.
Are you
Belief matters.
going to the destination or coming back from the destination? So because reason takes the first place as you are going to the destination. Progress of reaching a conclusion. Yeah.
Right, but in order for me to even embark on the journey of going, I need to have some sort of motivator. So when I not need to check with my human feelings. Am I satisfied right now?
No.
If I say, yeah, I'm satisfied, then I'm not going to embark on that journey.
That's why reasoning takes priority as you are going to the destination to come to a conclusion. But while you are coming to the, after getting the rationally acceptable, satisfied conclusion and applying to your own life, then senses takes priority. It doesn't mean that the other stops and dysfunctions completely. No. So as you are right, I agree with
in
you.
the very beginning, isn't it also feelings take priority just for a moment before reasoning? Because I have to say, I don't feel very happy right now. Like with my existence or with my life.
It means you are not satisfied with it.
And then I say, okay, let me try to find something that satisfies me, and then that's when reasoning maybe.
I understand. This is what we have been talking about, how belief conclusion goes through certain processes. Now, how it goes. So the process, motivation in the process is a human, of course, human beings in general are full of questions. So questions are the impulses, inciting motives. Yeah. Inciters? Yeah, inciters. That is why, what is the point in being here? With a child, for example, as they start growing, they always automatically, without really reasoning, that's human instinct. Yeah. Automatic. Why? Yeah. They're exercising and developing. If you say that don't go to this room, why? And definitely, if you find he or she finds the opportunity, we'll go to this room. So because you are prohibiting. So asking. This is human. Yeah. We question, okay, I'm not saying that human feelings. If there was no human feeling, I wouldn't need to investigate about anything. That's absolutely correct. What we have been talking, how belief conclusion goes through process. Which process? Right? after starting your point. After starting your point. It's a good point to notice, to talk about.
Then is it an offer for us that since these are what we are going to read are the conclusion which looks more to spiritual side of us, so we can work on the rational proofs of this
There are, no,
part.
this is a
Thank you.
section. No, we should never forget what we are reading here. This is a section the author deals with in his third value of series. Yeah, flashes. Third values. Yeah. This is taken from there. Be careful, it is added here after the first word that we studied. Have you ever seen anything in the first word like this? Called rational journey. All rational journey in the first word. This is love. If you are satisfied with the conclusion as it is as you have been trained in the previous section, you can go and apply it now within your own feelings. What you have concluded is approvable for your human feelings. It is the spiritual side of human feelings. That is the result of the first word. If somebody has not gone through the first word or the volume which is called the words, another volume which is called the letters, and then this is the 17th or something section of the third volume, you have to go all this journey, and then you can read this, because you must be satisfied rationally anyways by now. Otherwise, you cannot pick up here and want this one and speak to people as within the context of this text. No, you shouldn't. We shouldn't be wise to do that. Do you understand now? We shouldn't forget that it is the continuation of the first word. And if you are not satisfied with the first word, you cannot read this. Even you can read, but you can imitate it. You can learn the knowledge. You cannot really confirm it. Let's go to the verse now, inshallah. What is the time? Oh. Okay, read the verse. And be careful what we are going to discuss next week. Yeah, inshallah. Inshallah.
The queen said,
No, in the name of God,
in the
because
name of God, the merciful, the compassionate.
no, it is the verse as well. You know that it's a verse. So, okay.
The queen said, ye chiefs.
Oh, yeah, make it English. Oh, chiefs. It means the council. Yeah. This is actually the translation, but it's a council. Yeah. Even the counselors of the queen, the leader. But we have to understand now. No, the leader and the counselors, right? Take it in a human sense, okay? A human being.
O chiefs, here is delivered to me a letter worthy of respect.
Now, don't you think you're being a letter? Yeah, worthy of respect. Okay, carry on. Just the beginning, warming up for the next week.
It is from Solomon and is as follows. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate.
Now, look, the first word, be careful here. The first word we studied, which is the 10th session of the same part. We are having the 10th class today. What was it? Sorry. Oh, what?
Respect.
In the name of God.
Yeah, it was only in the name of God. That's it. Thank you. In the name of God. not the merciful, the compassionate one, because mercy and compassion mostly attracted by senses. Understood? But so he now, the author says, it is time to add mercy and compassion, because in the name of God is rationally accepted, as it is studied before. So Solomon is, we are reading a verse from the Quran. Very brief, very brief. I know the time is up. We are reading a verse from the Quran. Quran, by definition, presents itself the speech of the creator, the source of existence of the universe. And it says, I employed somebody who's called Solomon, and I'm going to give you the example of this Solomon's story. So Solomon means employment. A person represents the employment of the creator. It means a person who is inspired by the creator. It means revelation from the creator. It means the creator is revealing, inspiring certain understanding to a person. Now, this person is delivering the letter to you and me. Okay, continue.
A number of mysteries will be mentioned in this station.
No. Solomon and is as follows. Now, what the message of the creator of the universe is represented by a person who's called Solomon here. But it's a scenario. Now, you think about it. The person says, I received the message from the creator. Okay, what does he say? What does he say? He says, in the name of God. Now, this message is coming to you in the name of God, not in the name of me, Solomon. And this God is the merciful and the compassion, and the compassionate. So, is it really the creator of the universe is really merciful or compassionate? Huh? Now, that's a human question. We have to study, inshallah, next week. So, you can say, I am the Solomon. You can say, I am the letter. Right? Inshallah. In principle, that's how we read the Quran. I am the letter from the source of existence. I am the Solomon who receives the message because I have a connection with my creator. Do I realize it or not? That's another subject. This is how to read the Quran. Inshallah.
I'm a queen at the same time.
I'm a queen also here. Receiving the message saying, is it really, what does it say? Let's talk about it. Correct. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka anta alimun hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you. It was, I don't know.